Are you boring? Are you average? Or are you interesting? I have a little test, a little quiz you can take for yourself to figure this out. Here's how it works. People who are boring by nature typically don't have much of an identity. They're not that dynamic of a person. So therefore, what do they talk about? Other people. I don't mean that necessarily in an office gossip sort of way or tabloid news. But today, it's very easy to cite a boring person because this is how they have something to talk about. You're gonna see this, and then later you're gonna hear this. Hey, did you see on Facebook? Exactly, because people who don't have a true identity, people who are boring, talk about other people. That's what they talk about. Let's move on. What about average people? Well, average people talk about safe things, universal things, like the weather, like sports, like the news, as long as it's not too political. That's what they talk about. It's a good, safe thing. It's small talk kind of stuff. It's engaging, but on a very surface level, in a way that gets no one excited. But then there's interesting people. What do interesting people talk about? Ideas. They have a perspective that's not like other people. They're willing to ask questions and think thoughts and challenge the system. And then they're able to take those thoughts and engage other people with them, which is what I'm doing right now. You're nearly 2 minutes into a video in which I'm explaining ideas to you. We're not talking about other people. We're not talking about general events that are going on. We're talking about ideas. Because interesting people talk about ideas. So in review, if you're boring, you're talking about other people. If you're average, you're talking about general events going on that affect everyone. But if you're interesting, you're able to engage people in ideas, to get people thinking about stuff they would never have normally thought about. You're an innovator. That's what interesting people do. Interesting people have no interest in gossip. They're bored by events, what's going on universally. What they want to know is if other people are able to connect with them on the same level. They love to reel people in and engage people. That's how if you know if someone is interesting. So again, in review, boring people talk about people. Average people talk about events. And interesting people talk about ideas.